Hey Steelers Nation, welcome back to the channel. We're here with another exclusive update straight from the heart of the black and gold. First things first, let's take a moment to acknowledge the grind. The Steelers are always striving to improve, working tirelessly to bring home the results we all crave. If you're as passionate about the Steelers as we are, hit that like button to show your support and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a beat. Let's dive into today's hot topic, the future of head coach Mike Tomlin and what's next for the Steelers. According to Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Steelers have no plans to part ways with head coach Mike Tomlin despite the disappointing first-round playoff exit against the Baltimore Ravens. This decision follows Tomlin's 3-year contract extension signed in June 2024. At 52 years old, Tomlin remains the longest-tenured head coach in the league. Over his 18-season career, he's amassed a record of 183-172, boasting a .630 winning percentage and securing 12 playoff appearances. Let's not forget, he's never had a losing season and brought home a Super Bowl trophy in his second year with the franchise. Tomlin's leadership has been a cornerstone for the Steelers, from his ability to develop young talent to maintaining a culture of resilience and discipline. But let's be real, Steelers Nation. 5 straight one-and-done playoff runs? That's a tough pill to swallow. While Tomlin's consistency is undeniable, the postseason struggles have fans divided. What do you think? Is Tomlin's legacy enough to outweigh recent disappointments? Or do you believe it's time for a change? Dulac hints that changes are likely, especially on the offensive side of things. With Tomlin effectively running the defense alongside DC Terrell Austin, it's the offensive strategy that might see an overhaul. Could we be looking at a shakeup in the coaching staff? Maybe a new offensive coordinator to bring fresh ideas to the table? Let's not forget that the Steelers' offense, while showing flashes of brilliance, has struggled with consistency, particularly in critical moments. Addressing these issues could be the key to breaking the playoff curse. Some names have already been floated as potential candidates for the offensive coordinator role. Whether it's a seasoned veteran or an up-and-coming innovator, the choice will be pivotal. Steelers Nation, what moves do you think the Steelers need to make to get over the hump? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should the team prioritize building around Kenny Pickett, or is it time to reevaluate the offensive philosophy as a whole? Switching gears to Naji Harris, the star running back's future with the Steelers is anything but certain. After the season-ending loss to the Ravens, Harris spoke candidly about the team's struggles. You just got to go in the film and go in the off-season and really just figure out some stuff that you've got to work on personally, Harris said. Noticeably absent from his comments, a strong commitment to the Steelers. Let's not forget, Harris has been a workhorse for Pittsburgh since being drafted in 2022, rushing for over 1,000 yards in each of his 4 seasons. However, the Steelers declined his 5th-year option, setting up his pending free agency this March. While Harris emphasized the importance of unity and blocking out external noise, his lack of a definitive answer about staying in Pittsburgh raises questions. In a league where running back longevity is often questioned, Harris's value as both a runner and pass catcher cannot be overlooked. Yet the Steelers' decision to decline his option suggests they might be looking at other priorities. Should they focus on keeping Harris in the fold, or could this be an opportunity to revamp the backfield with younger, less expensive talent? Steelers Nation, weigh in. Is Naji Harris the key to the team's offensive identity, or would you rather see the team allocate resources elsewhere? It's no secret that the Steelers are at a crossroads. With a roster that has shown flashes of brilliance and a coaching staff anchored by one of the most respected names in the NFL, the potential is there. But potential doesn't win championships. Execution does. The front office has some big decisions to make this offseason, from player personnel to coaching adjustments. How they navigate these choices will determine whether the Steelers can return to being perennial Super Bowl contenders. Key players like T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward continue to anchor the defense, but how much longer can this core stay together? On the offensive side, the development of Kenny Pickett and the potential retention of Naji Harris will be critical. The Steelers' identity has always been about grit, determination, and resilience, but as the league evolves, so must the team's approach. The draft and free agency will play a significant role in shaping the future. Will the Steelers focus on bolstering the offensive line, adding more weapons for Pickett, or shoring up depth on defense? The answers to these questions will define the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. After the game, Elliott was asked about the team's performance. His response? Brutally honest. "Saint the bed," Elliott said. "And you know what? Watching the game, it's hard to disagree. The Ravens ran all over our defense. Derrick Henry rushed for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Lamar Jackson added another 81 yards on the ground. That's nearly 270 rushing yards allowed by a defense that's supposed to be one of the league's best." Elliott, who has only been with the Steelers for a short time, seems to already understand what Steelers football should look like. Toughness, grit, and determination, none of which were on display during that first half, as the Ravens stormed into halftime up 21-0. This isn't what Steelers fans expect or deserve. Steelers Nation, let me ask you, do you think Elliott was right to call out the effort of his teammates? Or do you think he crossed the line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The Steelers now face another offseason with big questions looming over the roster and coaching staff. Elliott's frustration wasn't just about this one game. It's a reflection of a team that has struggled to find its identity in high-stakes moments. From the Christmas Day loss to the Kansas City Chiefs to this playoff embarrassment, Elliott has been vocal about the team needing players who are truly invested in turning things around. But it's not just about effort. The Steelers have been outperformed in every aspect of the game during this 5-game losing streak. Offensively, we haven't found a rhythm. Defensively, we've been gashed repeatedly by the run. And let's be honest, Steelers Nation, this isn't the first time. We've seen this pattern. 5 consecutive one-and-done playoff appearances speak volumes. The question is this a personnel issue, a coaching problem, or both? For Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin, this offseason is make or break. The Steelers are dangerously close to falling into a cycle reminiscent of the Marvin Lewis-led Bengals, making the playoffs but never advancing. That's not what Pittsburgh stands for. This franchise has 6 Lombardi trophies, and the standard is much higher. So what needs to change? Elliott said it best. The Steelers need players who are gritty, tough, and fully committed to the AFC North style of football. It's not just about talent. It's about heart. The offense has been inconsistent at best. Kenny Pickett's development is crucial, but he needs better protection and more reliable weapons. Should the Steelers focus on strengthening the offensive line in free agency and the draft? The defense has the talent. T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward are all elite. But when it comes to stopping the run and making big plays in critical moments, we've fallen short. Is it time to add more depth to the front 7? Steelers Nation, how would you prioritize these issues? What should the team's top focus be? This offseason, there's no denying it. This offseason is a turning point. The Steelers can't afford to let this playoff futility define the next era of the franchise. Tomlin's leadership has been a hallmark of consistency, but is consistency enough if it doesn't translate to postseason success? The same goes for Omar Khan. As GM, it's his job to bring in the right players, guys who embody the Steelers' tradition of hard-nosed football. Whether it's through the draft, free agency, or trades, Pittsburgh needs a shakeup. Will the Steelers finally address their postseason struggles? Or are we destined for another year of frustration? And more importantly, will Tomlin's culture and coaching style be enough to turn things around? All right, Steelers Nation, it's time for you to weigh in. What's your take on Tomlin staying as head coach? Do you believe he's still the right man to lead this team, or is it time for a new direction? And what about Naji Harris? Should the Steelers break the bank to keep him, or would you rather see the team invest elsewhere? Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the team's current direction? Are there specific moves you'd like to see in free agency or the draft? Let's get the discussion rolling. Before you go, smash that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive and hit subscribe so you're always in the loop with the latest Steelers news. Share this video with your fellow fans and keep the conversation going. As always, we'll see you next time here on the channel. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.